Y'all. I want to talk about this Danny Jacobs versus Canelo fight, man. The fight was lackluster to say the least. It was. I fell asleep. I fell asleep in a couple rounds. I think I missed like 2 rounds. I dozed off. Had to wake myself back up. It was boring, man. It was a boring fight. It looked like a glorified sparring match. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like these guys went in there and had an agreement not to hurt each other. You know what I'm, that's what it looked like to me. And like I said, Danny Jacobs does not have a second gear. I was trying to give him the benefit of doubt. I was going to try to wait for this fight was over. And I said in my last video, I'm not going to kill him until I see the Canelo fight because he may, change my opinion. But he didn't change my opinion at all. Danny Jacobs is what Danny Jacobs is. He's not a top level fighter. He's like a mid level fighter. He can beat the Seleckies of the world. He can go in there and beat Peter Quillen. He can beat some of those other fringe guys, but at the top, he's not going to beat none of those guys. I mean, he's shown what he is. It's fighters throughout history that they're really good. You know, above average fighters, but when it comes to the top level fighters, it seems like they just can't get over the hump. He didn't get over the hump versus Triple G. He didn't get over the hump versus Canelo. And now I hear people killing Danny Jacobs. These are some of the same people. I remember their videos. I look at a lot of videos that said that Danny Jacobs beat Triple G. That's how I know Danny Jacobs didn't beat Triple G, because if y'all killing him that he didn't beat Canelo, Triple G put more leather on him than Canelo put on him. A lot of more hard shots and dropped the man. And y'all saying that y'all killing Danny Jacobs for his Canelo Alvarez performance. Like I said, man, a lot of people would just be disingenuous. The truth usually comes out eventually. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold it in. It's coming out that, yeah, I knew that he didn't beat Triple G. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't beat, if y'all don't think he beat Canelo, he didn't beat Triple G either, because Canelo did less. I thought Canelo did not look good to me. He looked off. He looked lackluster. They both look lackluster. They both, but see, Danny Jacobs, see, for all the tough stuff in the weigh in and all that stuff, man, that's why I don't put a lot of credence into that stuff, man, because that stuff just be a lot of bluster for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's nervous energy, and built up and all that stuff, and then you get in the ring and you fight like a cat. That's what Danny Jacobs fought like. He didn't fight like he wanted to beat Canelo. He fought like he wanted to go to a decision and have people say, "Oh well, Danny Jacobs. I think Danny Jacobs won. I mean, he won this round. This round was close." See, that it seemed like this is the generation of close rounds and people trying to go to the decision so they can make a case that they won, so their fan base can say, "Hey, my man didn't get knocked out. He didn't get hurt. He didn't get staggered. He won some round. He won 5 rounds or whatever, and 2 of the rounds were close." Things like that. It's like everybody trying to do the decision thing, man. No one is going in there trying to It's a couple people that's going in there trying to destroy people. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple fighters out there. AJ, Wilder, um, Crawford, Earl Spence. It's a couple fighters out there that's really trying to go out there and go get it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, this is a generation of decisions, and everybody happy to go to the decision for some odd reason. And Danny Jacobs, and now they're talking about a rematch. Who want to see that again? I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see him and Danny Jacobs again. Now, Canelo, to his credit, reportedly that he said he wanted Demetrius Andrade. I would like to see that fight. Now, I think Demetrius Andrade will test Canelo way more than Danny Jacobs. That fight right there, Canelo will have to come out and really, really fight. He cannot sit back and have a sparring match, because Demetrius Andrade poses a whole lot more difficult, you know, a whole lot more of a difficult style than Danny Jacobs. Demetrius Andrade is southpaw. Demetrius Andrade is faster than Jacobs. He's taller than Jacobs. He's longer than Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? He boxed better than Jacobs. Better jab, better combinations. just as much power. I thought Danny Jacobs was going to go up in there and put Canelo Alvarez on his back foot. I really thought that. But Canelo Alvarez had this man on his back foot. And if you look at them when they was close together, Danny Jacobs was much bigger than Canelo. And Danny Jacobs paid $1 million because he wanted to come in the weight that he wanted to come in. He wanted to come in over it. It was a rehydration clause. It's ironic that Canelo has rehydration clauses in his contracts, man. All this, see, this is what I'm saying about some of these diva fighters. This is what I'm saying about why people be so. This is why I'm not on that A side B side stuff, because it's a lot of boxing is already corrupt as it is. It's already a fringe corrupt sport as it is. Now you got people come out talking about rehydration clauses and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And oh, you can't come over this weight. You gotta, and see, that's what that A side, B side stuff, because the so-called A side gets to call all the shots. They get the, you have to fight on their network. You have to fight under their promotional company, and their promotional company provides the judges, the referee, and everything. They provide, they pay all those guys. So, and now you gotta have a rehydration clause. You probably gotta wear certain gloves that they want you to wear. The ring size is gonna be a certain way. See, that's why when people say, "Oh man, he's the A side, he's the B side," stop giving these guys that sense of they can call and do anything they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say that, you give them an out, and then they don't want to fight certain fighters because they say, well, that fighter is not bringing enough money. You know, that's what people like to say. Oh, he doesn't bring enough money to the table. Who cares? If the fight is a good match, that's all the supporters and the fans should be worried about. If the fight is a good fight, we should be calling for great fights, not for money fights, because it don't always go hand in hand. The money fight is not always the best fight. Period. It's just what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's the fights that it's the fighters that put on a great performance that doesn't get all the praise, and but they go out there and put the pedal to the metal and fight great. It was a welterweight on that undercard. That Mexican welterweight, what's his name, Ortiz or whatever his name was. He's a pretty good prospect. You know what I'm saying? He stopped Mauricio Herrera. Not only stopped him, but knocked him out. The first time Mauricio Herrera has ever been, stopped. And he been in the ring with Danny Garcia. He been in the ring with some other really good fighters. And that was the first time that he was stopped. So I think that guy probably got a pretty decent future. I like to see some more fights from him. He came from 140, he came up to 147 to fight that fight. He said he wanted to go back down to 140. 140 is hot, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 140 got some. They got Regis Prograis down there. I believe that one kid is coming to 140. The one that want to fight Lomachenko. What's his name again? He's coming to 140 pretty soon. So 140 may be lit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but let me get back to this Danny Jacobs situation, man. He knew what he was up against. Like when you fight those type of guys like Canelo, Mayweather, De La Hoya back in the day, Pacquiao. When you go fight those fighters, you have to go in there to get them. You can't go in there and try to box them to a decision and all this crap. You have to go in there and you have to go get it. Danny Jacobs was talking about the scorecards in the press conference. I hope I get a good, fair deal, a fair shot. Well, you fought like you wanted to go to the judges, and you was talking about the judges. Why you ain't going there? Put the pedal to the metal. If I get knocked out, I get knocked out. But I'm about to destroy this man. You have to know in your mind that you fighting on the zone. Y'all both on the zone, but Canelo got the huge contract. So you gotta know that anything close, y'all not gonna win. Like Demetrius Andrade, I hope he don't make the same mistake. Cause when y'all go up in there get versus Canelo, Triple G too. Triple G should know more than anybody. But when y'all go in there against Canelo, y'all have to destroy that man. Like destroy. Y'all have to have on y'all mind. I have to destroy this man. Either I'm gonna destroy him or he gonna destroy me. One or the other. I'm not gonna sit back and box this man to a decision. Then when the judges come out, I lose the fight. You know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs just It seemed like he just gave the fight away. Like he didn't really fight, and he was doing the same thing I was saying when people say he beat Triple G. He was doing that little pity pat, don't touch me, throwing those punches that trying to keep you off of him type punches, not authoritative punches. He wasn't throwing anything with authority. Like his jab was like a little paw, like a little kitten waving at a dog, like get away from me, get away from me. It was more like that. It had no power behind it. His punches had no meaning behind it. He had no ferocity behind his punches, no speed behind his punches. I'm looking at this man like, man, what are you doing? Man, I just started dozing off, man. I'm like, here we go again, another Danny Jacobs fight that he's showing that he don't have another gear. He just don't have another gear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm done with Danny Jacobs as far as Danny Jacobs beating a top level fighter. He can beat those middle of the road fighters. You know what I'm saying? But he's not gonna beat no top level fighters because he just don't have it in him. He doesn't have he doesn't have the go get mentality. You let this man put you on your back foot, and you came in the heavier guy. You came in how you wanted to come in, the weight you wanted to come in, the same thing you did against Golovkin. You came in the weight that you wanted to come in. You paid in this contract, Oscar De La Hoya and them put in there that you have to pay $1 million for being overweight. I think he had to be 170 the morning of the fight, because that's the IBF rules for the IBF title. But I don't see how that's the. I thought the IBF was that if it's a unification fight, the IBF was not going to do that. I think this was just a De La Hoya Canelo thing, because they get to do what they want to do because they the so called A side, and everybody so caught up in this A side B side. This is what happens when you get caught up in that A side B side stuff. You get the A side, the so called A side, putting all these provisions into the fight and just messing the fight up. You know what I'm saying? So, and Canelo is he shouldn't even be on that. Oh, you got to come in at a certain weight. This is the man that makes up his own weight class. He makes up his own weight class as he goes. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, it was a boring fight. You know what I'm saying? It was boring. I told you I dozed off a couple times during the fight, man. That's how boring it was.